With only 4 regular season games to go, the window on the NBA regular season is starting to close rapidly, and some of these teams are already eliminated from contention, while others are still scraping and clawing, trying to find their way into the postseason. My name's CJ Curry, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing 3 different NBA player props that I found on my favorite site, which is PrizePicks. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed to the channel before, this is your opportunity to get subscribed. It's free for you to do. Go ahead and hit that like button for me as well. Let's set today's like goal at 100 or more likes, and ring that bell. Turn on all notifications so that anytime I drop a new video here on the channel, you're not left out in the cold. Now, you commenters out there, you guys have been doing a great job of leaving comments. Those of you who are trying to win a free month of Dub Club, which is our VIP community where myself and others post our winning picks each and every day to our Discord, well, you guys have been doing an excellent job. And I've got a new winner from yesterday's video. This person has subscribed to the channel. They liked yesterday's video. They commented their favorite player prop, and that player prop was randomly chosen, and it ended up being a winning player prop. Person I'm talking about here is Reframed Bias. He liked Adam Bona for more than 29 fantasy score, and Bona had himself a big old game, a big Bona game. Pause. Let me stop. Anyway, he went well over 29 fantasy score. So congratulations to you. Go down to the description of today's video, click the link to the free Discord. Once you're inside the Discord, then you can shoot me a DM and I will get you a special link so that you get yourself a free month of Dub Club where you can start winning more together with me and the rest of the community on our favorite picks, plays, and parlays. I'm sharing stats and information for NBA and MLB now that the MLB is fully in swing. So congratulations to you. Now, if you want to be like our friend here, Reframe Bias, all you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel, hit the like button, and comment your favorite player prop of the day. It could be NBA, MLB, or some other sport that you're into, like esports. Doesn't matter. All we're trying to do is add more picks to people's pick pool, and hopefully they tail those picks, and hopefully those picks are winning picks, and we help each other eat together. All right. So let's go over to the PrizePicks board here. I'm going to pull it up on my desktop. I got 3 different options. 2 of them are going to be full game player props. One of them is going to be what they call a first half only player prop. Now, first half only, you're not going to find a lot of sites that offer that. I think PrizePicks is one of the unique ones. Underdog probably being the other, where you can get first half only props. The guy that I'm looking at for the first half is going to be Devin Booker, because this young man has been absolutely cooking his first half points prop of 13.5 points. Listen, there's a slim but still a chance, a little bit of hope that the Phoenix Suns can crawl into the play-in seeding. The Dallas Mavericks are up by a couple of games. Phoenix is hot on their heels. Devin Booker is doing his best to try to carry the Phoenix Suns without Kevin Durant. I don't know if they're going to catch Dallas or not, but it looks like he's definitely trying. If you look at the last few games here for Devin Booker, first half only, I mean, he's put up 20, 22, 16, and 20. Now, most of these teams are playoff teams, are very good teams. The Houston Rockets, 20 points against them in the first half, 22 against the Milwaukee Bucks, 16 against Boston, and then he drops 20 against the New York Knicks. These are not teams that you just walk in and steamroll, right? These are difficult teams, tough teams defensively speaking, and Devin Booker just continues to pump out more than 13.5 first half points over the last few games, pretty much since Kevin Durant went down. So I'm kind of liking some Devin Booker over 13.5. Another thing that kind of stood out to me was the fact that his full game points were looking really healthy today. If you pull up his projected full game points over on a site like Shot Quality's Advanced Analytics, you can see he's projected for 31.47 full game points. Now, if you were to slice that number in half, he'd be right around 15.5 points or so. So that kind of gives you somewhat of an guesstimation of where he could potentially land, about 15 to 16 points per half if he's able to live up to this projection of 31.5, let's call it, full game points. But yeah, really liking some Devin Booker here over 13.5. He's been getting it done against some difficult teams. I don't think Golden State's going to be as tough or any more tough than some of the teams that he's faced recently. So I'm going to ride with this one. So if you want to get some quick cash, you could potentially tail this particular pick, and maybe Devin Booker clears the 13.5 first half points for you rather quickly. But moving over to some full game player props. Now, I know this guy is going to give some of you guys a little bit of a pause or cause for concern. Rudy Gobert. I'm looking at Rudy Gobert for a lot of different things, really. I mean, the 12.5 points kind of looks good to me. He's been on an absolute heater, a tear here recently. He's going up against Brook Lopez and the Milwaukee Bucks. He's had some success in the past, going over 12.5 points, in addition to that streak that he's on where he's scored 13 or more points in consecutive games here. So the over on the 12.5 points looks like the way that I would probably go here on Gobert, but I couldn't be mad at you if you wanted to go with something like points, rebounds, and assists, where he's hit in his last 3 head-to-heads against Milwaukee. But let's take a look at some more information here on Rudy Gobert. I'm trying to avoid all the games with pending injury news. I'm trying to avoid the games where, it could be a potential blowout, which there's a lot of them tonight that have 10-plus point spreads. So trying to stick to the games that look a little bit more safe. But let's look at Rudy Gobert today over on RotoWire. If you take a look at Gobert's player props over on 12.5 points, you could go that route. You could go over on the 14 rebounds plus assists, over on the 14.5 points plus assists. The 25 points plus rebounds looks like a good option, and the 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I mean, everything Rudy Gobert related, according to RotoWire, is a lean more. This game is supposed to stay close and competitive. The spread's only like 4.5 points, I believe. But let's see what Rudy Gobert's been up to here, because he has been filling it up from an offensive standpoint in his last 10 games or so. Last 8, we'll say. So he's gone over his 12.5 points in 8 straight games. 15 against New Orleans. He's expected to do that. New Orleans isn't very good. 16 against Indiana and Miles Turner. Pretty tough. Pascal Siakam also in that front court. 17 against Phoenix. Nick Richards, not the best defensive-minded center. 19 against Jalen Duren and the Detroit Pistons. Pretty darn good there. 19 against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Jokic doesn't really play a lot of D, but okay. 21 against Brooklyn. Brooklyn, tanking team. Not very good. And then 23 most recently against the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Phillies not good at all. We know their front court is missing Joel Embiid, Andre Drummond, and so they're typically going with a pretty undersized, underwhelming front court. So he has beat up on some pretty regular basic teams, below average teams. So we have to kind of take that into consideration as well. But looking at the previous head-to-heads against the Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, the last 3 times that he's played Milwaukee, he's had 16. That was February 8th of last season. 12, February 23rd of last season. And then 20 points in their most recent matchup. That was from February 12th of this season. So he put 20 points up on Brook Lopez and the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, you'd have to go back and see who was active and inactive for that game. But the fact that he was able to put in 20 points against Milwaukee is pretty impressive. So overall, I mean, he's been in the chase, in the hunt each and every night with these head-to-head matchups against the Milwaukee Bucks, 16, 12, and 20. So there's a real chance here that he could potentially go over his prop. Now, I mentioned the points, rebounds, and assists because this kind of caught my eye. The last 3 times that he's faced Milwaukee, he's had 31, 32, and 38 points, rebounds, and assists. So he has 3 out of his last 3 against the Milwaukee Bucks head-to-head, and his projection today is about 28.3 points, rebounds, and assists. But I'm going to go with the points. 13.4 is his projected points number. It's about a whole point higher than where he's currently sitting on PrizePicks at just 12.5. Now, we take a look at some of the projections for Gobert on some of these other projection models, because every projection model is going to be a little bit different from one model to the next. You got him right around 15 points here on Fantasy Labs, so they like him to go over 12.5 pretty comfortably. So I like that projection for Gobert there. Over on Shot Quality, their projection for Gobert's points even higher, 15.24 projected points. So, hey, maybe the Minnesota Timberwolves continue to ride the hot hand here. We know that they've had their struggles offensively, but Rudy Gobert has been about the most consistent thing that they've had here in recent memory. And you know that Julius Randle will probably be matched up against Giannis Antetokounmpo, so the matchup's not very good for Randle. So they're going to have to get some offense from somewhere, and maybe they go Gobert versus Lopez tonight. But that one looked pretty decent to me. And then this last one, this is another preview of what we might see for the Eastern Conference play-in. The Atlanta Hawks and the Orlando Magic are kind of right there neck and neck in that 7-8 spot. with a couple of teams like the Chicago Bulls and Miami Heat right behind them in the 9-10 spot. So things could still shift around here. But as of right now, if the playoffs were to start today, Atlanta and Orlando would be playing each other in the opening round of the play-in tournament. So kind of a cool game to kind of tune into. Might be a preview of what we might see in the first round of the play-in tournament. But looking here at Dyson Daniels at more than 10 rebounds plus assists. He's done a really good job here recently and throughout the season of hitting 10 or more rebounds and assists. And head-to-head versus Orlando, he's done a good job as well, hitting 10 or more rebounds and assists in the last 2 head-to-head matchups. So let's take a look at some info here on Dyson Daniels of the Atlanta Hawks. Couple of different ways you could go with Daniels. I considered just the rebounds at 6. I mean, that's playable. I think that's doable for him. If you wanted to go just rebounds, I couldn't fault you there. Over the last 20 games or so, he's hit 6 or more rebounds in, darn near every game. There's been only a handful of games where he's missed it. Games against Charlotte where he only had 5, Philadelphia with 5 and 2 against the New York Knicks. But the rebounds and assists is the one that kind of caught my eye a little bit more. He's usually either going well over 10 rebounds and assists, or he's just missing it with 8, 9 rebounds and assists. But over the last 10 games or so, this has been one that he's been hitting at a consistent rate. 80% hit rate, 8 out of 10. In other words, averaging 12 rebounds plus assists per game in that 10-game span. And you could even stretch this out to more like a 15, 20-game span. He's been doing a really good job here. So he's projected for about 10.43 rebounds and assists. So could this tie? Could this push? Yeah, potentially it could. Anytime you get a prop where they've shaved off that hook, that 0.5, there's always tie or push potential. Now, versus Orlando, like I mentioned, the last 2 times that he's faced Orlando, both from this season, he's had 10 and 15 rebounds and assists. We know that the Orlando Magic typically don't give up a lot of rebounds to the center position, so I'm not expecting a big game for Onyeka Okongwu on the glass, which means guys like Dyson Daniels, maybe even some Trae Young, Zachary Rizache, those guys could potentially swoop in there for some rebounds. But yeah, he's done pretty well here. 10, and then more recently, February 20th, 15 rebounds plus assists versus Orlando in that one. So let's check out some other projections here for Dyson Daniels, and I will get you guys out of here. We're going to go over here to Fantasy Labs and look at Dyson Daniels there. If you pull up his projection, he is projected for about 10 exactly, 10 rebounds plus assists. So more of a modest conservative projection. Shot quality had a better or higher projection for him. They've got him all the way up at 10.94 rebounds and assists. So almost a whole rebound and assist higher than where his prop is currently sitting on PrizePicks at 10 rebounds plus assists. So there's your third pick of the video. Now this is the portion of the video where I turn things over to you guys. Are you liking any of these picks, hating any of these picks? You're going to be pairing any of these picks with your favorite taco for PrizePicks Taco Tuesday promotion? Let me know down in the comment section below, or maybe you've got a pick of your own that you've really got your eyes set on. Leave it down in the comment section. Maybe one of our fellow viewers will see your comment, tail your pick, and end up cashing out because of your knowledge and insight. We appreciate everything that you guys do. Thank you for watching these videos. Please share with a friend, and we will catch you in the next video real soon. Good luck on all your picks, plays, and parlays, and we will see you inside of Dub Club and Discord. Peace.